Welcome back everybody. So my next movie review for you is Casino Royale. But once again, before I get into this review, if you enjoy watching my reviews, if you could please like, share and subscribe to my channel, that would be very, very much appreciated. So Casino Royale was released on the 16th of November 2006. Its director was Martin Campbell. It was made on a budget of 150 million US dollars and made 606.1 million US dollars in the box office. The cast of this movie consists of Daniel Craig, Eva Green, Mads Mikkelsen, Jeffrey Wright, Judi Dench, plus many, many others. So in this Casino Royale movie, we see Special Agent James Bond embark on a mission to prevent Le Chiffre from winning a very high-stakes poker game. And Le Chiffre is a mob boss, and he does pose a little bit of a threat to James Bond in this movie. So what do I honestly think about this movie? Now, you have to understand that I'm a huge, huge fan of the James Bond franchise. I've watched every single James Bond movie, and I get a certain amount of enjoyment from each one of those movies. Yes, I do have favourites, and then this one come along. So this is technically kind of like a reboot, and if you really want to know what I think about this movie, the movie review is coming up right about now. So here we go, Casino Royale movie review. Now, like I said at the start of this video, I am a huge James Bond fan. I really, really am. I've watched all of the movies. I've got them on VHS. I got some on DVD, and I just know this universe very, very well. The problem with the James Bond movies before Daniel Craig became James Bond is that they start to become very, very repetitive. So you kind of know what's going to happen. There's going to be a big villain there with a big, satellite or all these different henchmen, and you know that James Bond is going to sleep with loads of beautiful women and all that kind of stuff, but it becomes very, very repetitive. And then all of a sudden, boom, here comes Casino Royale. They take all that cheesiness and all that and they throw it completely out the window, and they deliver something brand new for you, and it's an absolutely fantastic movie. Okay, it's one of my favorite James Bond movies. There are so many reasons for this. Just the casting of Daniel Craig as James Bond, I think it's an absolutely fantastic move. No matter how controversial this was when he got announced he was going to be James Bond, I think it's an absolutely fantastic move. Now, I gotta be honest, I was on the fence when he got cast. And then I went to see this movie on pretty much the day of its release as well, and he nailed this. Okay, he really, really did. Now, I know everybody's got their own kind of favorite James Bond. Okay, I enjoy all performances of James Bond, but Daniel Craig, especially in this movie, really, really stands out because he is a lot more darker, he's a lot harder, he's a lot more chiseled in this one, or colder in this. And I think this new direction that they took in this movie was an absolutely fantastic move. And that being said, it has a very convincing villain in here, played by Mads Mikkelsen as Le Chiffre. He's absolutely fantastic, and you really do get that sense of villainous from him. You can see this evil coming out, you can see it, and I generally think he's a very, very convincing villain in this, because at the end of the day, yes, he is like a mob banker in this, but he has got people to answer to, and he won't stop to get what he needs, which is to basically provide the terrorists with money or to move their money around. He's a very, very convincing villain in here, and I really enjoyed his performance in this as well. It's like the same as Vesper Lynn in this, played by Eva Green. She's absolutely fantastic. Now, normally when a big or a very attractive kind of female character comes along, you know, or in James Bond movies, you know that at some point in this movie he's going to sleep with them. They kind of change this up a little bit. Yes, there is chemistry there, and there is chemistry, but there's a chemistry that the fact he actually genuinely likes this girl. And it's something different and something new, but essentially James Bond itself, or Daniel Craig, playing James Bond is just completely different to what we're used to, and I absolutely love it. He is a man on a mission in this movie, and that is solely what it is. It is about the job. Certain other things, action sequences in this movie are absolutely fantastic. They really, really are. There's a great parkour scene which lasts about 8 minutes in this, which is always a standout part of this movie for me. And I've watched this movie, I don't know how many times, about 30, 40 odd times I expect by now. And that action sequence just in itself is brilliant, and you really get to see how different James Bond is in this action sequence. It's fucking fantastic, and you can see that there's a lot of time and effort being put into this as well. The stunt work in this is fantastic as well, but this Daniel Craig on screen, brilliant in every single way, especially in the action sequences or even at the high stakes poker game in this. It's brilliant in every single way. He is a completely different Bond than what we are used to. You also get a bit more of a backstory to him on how he becomes a 00. And you get to see that right at the start of this movie in a very, very tense scene at the beginning. It's a really big change, but it's a big change which is really, really good for this movie and for this franchise. And I just love every single element of this, even soundtrack, all the theme music. Every James Bond movie comes with a theme music or a soundtrack. There is an artist out there that gets chosen to do the next James Bond theme music, and I believe in this one it's Chris Cornell. And you know my name, or don't know I can't remember exactly the name of the song, but again, it's absolutely fantastic in every single way. They do things differently here, and it works. And it works well as well. I know there's going to be some people out there that might watch this review and go, the old James Bonds are the best. Yes, they are really, really good. I enjoy them. There's not one that I hate, but it's the repetitiveness which is the problem with those James Bond movies, and they needed to move this in a different direction to keep the audience captivated. And I'm gotta be honest with you, there's only one Daniel Craig James Bond movie which I don't dislike and I don't hate it, it's just not as good as the rest, is Spectre. That's the only one, and yet with the new one coming out, or potentially coming out at the end of this year or early next year, and it being Daniel Craig's last James Bond, I would love for him to stay for at least another 2 movies, but unfortunately the way that he does these James Bond movies are very, very high octane kind of action-packed James Bond movies, and I can see it takes a bit of a toll on him. So if I was to give this a rating, it's again going to be a seriously, seriously strong 10 out of 10 for this movie, because of the reasons why I say it's a lot more darker, it's a lot more grittier. The action sequences in this are absolutely fantastic in every single way. There's an absolutely fantastic villain in here. There's great chemistry between Eva Green and Daniel Craig, or Vesper Lynd and James Bond in this, which is a very welcome change. It's not all about trying to sleep with a gorgeous woman. It's about the mission, it's about the job and doing what you've got to do. And I think what they did in this first installment in the Daniel Craig run of movies, I think is absolutely brilliant in every single way. And that is the reason why it will always get a very, very strong 10 out of 10 for me. It's just a superb watch, and I really, really enjoy watching this movie. And I never, ever get bored with watching this movie, ever. It's one of the best Daniel Craig James Bonds, that closely in line with Skyfall, which I've already reviewed, and I'm going to re-review Skyfall. I'm going to do the whole of the James Bond movies at a certain point, or at some point before the release of the next one, because I generally got a lot of love for this franchise, and I just want to share it. Yes, like I said, the old movies start to become a little bit repetitive. The only other James Bond which has been close to Daniel Craig is Timothy Dalton in The Living Daylights and License to Kill. It's as simple as that, and it's nice to see this new take on it, or that fresh new take on this character, and doing something completely different to what everybody is used to. Yes, it may not please everybody. Now, this is coming from a fan that absolutely loves those movies, and I really, really do, but to see this fresh new take on this franchise, I just think worked really, really well. So, on that note, please tell me what you think. Put it in the comments down below as normal. I hope you all have a great rest of the day, whatever you're doing. Please take care, and goodbye.